Welcome to eBay Motors Extra. I'm Alan Taylor. This is my friend Beau Boeckmann. I don't know whether or not you've ever heard of Galpin Autosport or Galpin Ford, the world's largest by volume Ford dealer, but Beau here is one of the family members of Galpin Ford and Galpin Autosport where we're standing right now. Behind us is one of his cars from his collection. And you collect some weird stuff, my friend.
That I do, yes. We'll have a few weird things to show you today.
What do we have here? It's a CVCC. I mean, it's just an old Honda.
This was actually Big Daddy Roth's car.
Yeah.
His personal transportation. He worked at Knott's Berry Farm.
Ed Big Daddy Roth, you know, Ratfink.
I'm a pioneers of customizing and, just all around weird car builder.
Yeah.
So, he used to paint on this, and when he was painting sides, he'd put his cans up there, and he'd have other artists that would come along and Von Dutch pinstripe it, and a lot of cool history with it.
No doubt.
But when I got this, I thought for sure people would think I was nuts because, it's an old Honda. But to me, it's got a lot of wonderful
but
history.
I remember watching Von Dutch's toolbox sell for
$300 and some thousand.
$300 and some odd $1,000 for Von Dutch's pinstriping toolbox, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, these cars are definitely collectible, and thank God nobody actually sanded it down
exactly.
or anything.
Well, we've got some of Von Dutch's things as well.
Well, they have the world's largest. I mean, right next to us, and we're going to show you right now, the world's largest Ed Big Daddy Roth collection. Walk us through some of this stuff.
Well, we have a few of his trikes. This was actually the last trike that he actually built called Globe Hopper, and his idea was he wanted to drive to the Soviet Union, but he made it as far as Alaska and figured that might be a one-way trip. So he went all the way up there and drove it back by himself with a Ratfink mask next to him. But just a crazy trip all the way up to the glaciers. A couple other of his trikes, Secret Weapon from his old Army days, and the Great Speckled Bird, which actually that whole tube in front is a water tank, so he'd missed himself when he was driving through the desert, and other motorcycle guys would get behind him to get a little bit. But yeah, kind of a cool thing there.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, this guy obviously made some interesting machines throughout his life.
Well, he was a pioneer and a true visionary. Rotar, what we see here, actually was a real working flying car.
Really?
And probably the first, I would say, of its day. And it would levitate. It was two Triumph engines on its side that would make the blades spin, and it would actually levitate off the ground. At the time, George Barris was trying to build a flying car, so they were kind of in competition. But this one actually did fly.
Really flew?
It also changed all the rules at hot rod shows, because at Autorama in 1962, I think it was Dirty Doug revved it a little bit too much. A blade came off, hit the ceiling, and injured 5 people.
Wow.
So after that time, you were no longer allowed to rev up your hot rods at the show.
Oh,
so,
look at that. This is a special collection.
Yeah, so 27 Ford named Tweety Pie. What's really cool about this particular car, built it right around the same area, 1962 to 63. And there were over 9 million model kits made of that car that the kids would build back in the day. So we've got a few of those in the collection as well.
Awesome. And then comes to this bubble. I don't even know how you get in this thing with this bubble top.
Very carefully. It all motorizes out, but this is Mysterion. What I consider probably the weirdest car of all time. Twin engine, light off to one side, and it had the twin Ford V8s in there. And just absolutely wild. Now, this was the only Roth car that was completely destroyed. So our hot rod builder here at Gas, Dave Shutton, he actually built that car from scratch in his garage.
Wow.
And it's a perfect model of Mysterion
Did they
in
make
every way.
Also models of these cars?
Absolutely. Hot Wheels, all kinds of cool stuff in the day.
Another one that has a bubble top, kind of interesting, and I think this is one of your favorites too.
Well, this is it. This was, for me, a dream come true project because we got to play a little bit of part in history. This is Orbitron. Orbitron was built in 1964, and it has some really cool features. Again, asymmetrical. In other words, it has the red, green, and blue light, and that was to emulate the new technology of the day called color television. And the idea was that light. 3 shown together would be one white light, and it actually does work. Huh. But what was really cool is it actually disappeared in the early 1970s. Guys have been looking for it for 35 years, and it was found 3 years ago being used as a dumpster in Juarez, Mexico, in one of the worst barrios in existence today. Probably one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in North America.
So the bubble was gone and they were just filling it full of trash.
It literally was that. The nose was completely torn off, so it didn't quite look the same. But what was amazing, what was still there, the engine, the carburetors, the steering wheel.
Unbelievable.
There was one of everything left, so we could perfectly replicate and restore the entire vehicle.
And that's one of the original wheels right there behind
Original
it.
wheels and the original tire. Now they made very few sets of these tires, so we actually molded that and was able to come up with a reproduction tire for it.
Unbelievable.
What was, for me, another big honor, we got a lot of the original team that worked on the car back together. So it was a real honor to be a part of this historic automobile being brought back to life, and it's one of my all-time favorites.
And it's nice to see these Southern California cars that were built in Southern California all be under one collection here at Galpin Autosport.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing about Galpin Motors is that Galpin was the original car customizer for the OEM.
And you know, our customizing goes back to 1953. Our first custom car, which was a new car, 52 Ford, was on the cover of Motor Trend. So we've got a long history of customizing.
There you go.
And you know, we're just having more fun today than ever.
Well, speaking about today here at Galpin Autosport, this is your latest creation. I mean, what an amazing machine.
It is, and you know, we're really proud of this vehicle. It was commissioned by SPX. It's going to be auctioned off at the Barrett-Jackson auction in Scottsdale in January to raise money for St. Jude's Hospital. But it's actually a wide body,
So you've,
all made out of metal.
Widened it how many inches?
Yeah. It's a total of 9 inches.
Wow.
And it really gives it a much more aggressive look, and you get a lot more rubber to the road. It is as fast as lightning, and it drives as good as it looks.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful machines. I bought my Shelby here at Galpin Autosports and
Thank
Galpin
you.
Motors. Absolutely. Well, the last about 5 cars
Yeah.
from you guys. And Beau, I think you have a set of keys for me, right?
The keys to your 2012 Mustang from Mod Jobs, my friend.
Let's go build a custom car for a good cause.